We're going to go over grades in this video from all the Lions signings of free agency, and I'm going to give you my thoughts so far on how this bad boy is going. Also, the Detroit Lions just re-signed Scott Daly, the long snapper. I'm not going to make a video on it, so I'll just do a quick shout out to him for getting a new contract. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the latest Lions breaking news and who they're signing. You got to be subscribed to know as soon as the Lions sign a player. Generally, I jump in, make a video as fast as I can, and give you my initial thoughts. So let's get to 67,000 so you don't miss out on Lions news and rumors. We're going to start with the grades here of my favorite pickup so far in free agency, and that's getting DJ Reader, the defensive tackle from the Cincinnati Bengals. He is a nose tackle, so when you look at his stats, you're like, oh, he's not that good. No, he's about clogging up the hole, stopping the run, and getting double-teamed to free up other players upon that defensive line. Now, he has injuries, and the Lions doctors pretty much cleared him, say he's good to go. So he is here. He's 6'2", 334 pounds, and he is exactly what the Lions needed, opposite of Aleem McNeil, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job for the Lions this season. Can he stay healthy throughout the season? That's pretty much the biggest question here. He's a top, I would say, 15 defensive tackle in the National Football League, and maybe the best nose tackle and help stopping the run in the NFL. So, of course, when I give this a grade, I'm giving this bad boy a strong A. And I think this is the perfect fit for the player for this team and Aaron Glenn defense. He's also was a captain, and if you listen to him speak, he's very intellectual, smart. He understands the game, and he's going to bring much needed power to this defensive line. We've talked about it all off season, how we needed to get better, and defensive tackle was a position I wanted the Lions to get, and they got one of the best ones here. And it's not the biggest money spent. It's really not. Didn't overpay for his talents, so he's going to bring the Detroit Lions much needed help on the defensive line, and I absolutely love this, and that's why I'm giving it an A. But let me know in the comment section right now, what grade do you give the Lions signing of DJ Reader? A, B, C, D, or F. You can put in the plus and negatives as well. So let us know in the comments below. The Detroit Lions wasn't done there. Obviously, we needed help in the secondary, and we made a couple moves at that position. And one of the players that the Lions picked up in free agency here is Amik Robertson, the cornerback from the Raiders. And he's 5'8", 187 pounds, not the biggest guy in the world, but there's a reason for that. Drafted in the 4th round in 2020, and he's young at 25. You say he's 5'8". There's got to be some attributes to him for the Lions to sign such a player, and that's his speed. He ran a 4.4. The guy is very fast. He can play outside and nickel corner. What did he do last year? He had 38 solo tackles, a total of 50, 6 pass defense, and 2 interceptions. A solid cornerback for the Detroit Lions. And what makes him good, again, he can play outside and inside. And the Lions have had a track of getting burned by the deep pass. Thankfully for Robertson, he's extremely fast and he can keep up with his receiver. Again, I think he brings that dog. That's exactly what he is. He's a loves to tackle. He's a Dan Campbell type of guy. But the question will be, is he somebody that you can rely on throughout the NFL season? And that's something that they're going to have to watch going forward. Again, he only signed a 2-year, $9.25 million deal, upwards of $10.5, with some lovely things in the contract to get it up there. So the Lions are not spending a lot of money, and you're getting a solid cornerback that can play on multiple parts of this defense in the secondary. So I think it's a good signing. I'm going to give this bad boy a solid B. I think that a B is a good grade for Amik, and he's not the greatest corner in the NFL, but he's an upgrade from what we have, and it's not a bad signing. But let me know in the comment section right now, what grade do you give Amik Robertson? A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments below. Also, in free agency, you can also trade for players, so that's part of the deal here, and the Detroit Lions made a trade to get a cornerback with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is Carlton Davis here. The Lions get Carlton Davis and 2 6th-round picks, one this year and one next year. We gave up the 3rd-round draft pick, 92nd overall, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was originally the Vikings pick. And the Lions receive Carlton Davis, who he considers himself a lockdown #1 corner. And he spoke to the media, and he's very confident in his abilities. 6'1", 206 pounds. What I like about him is his size. He's very big, and we need to have big corners. I love the bigger, and bigger the better it is always, in my opinion. I like to have the bigger guys because they can deal with the DK Metcalfs of the world, the bigger receivers, whom the Detroit Lions have a real problem with. But it's hard to cover the big body guys, and in my world, I do think that you need to have big body corners to cover the big body wide receivers. You need to have a mixture of the smaller guys and the bigger guys, speed and size. And so I like this move. I don't think it's the best move or anything of that nature, but I think it is an upgrade from what we got right now. So I'm going to give this one a solid B. I don't think it's the greatest move in the world, but it's a move the Detroit Lions did to get better. He was injured, and he didn't have a great year last year, so that's a little bit concerning. So hopefully the Lions can get the best out of him. And the contract is probably the biggest negative part this, a little over $14 million this year, but it's 1 year basically for him. So if he does well, the Lions can re-sign him to a bigger deal. So I got a question for you. Grade the free agency so far for the Detroit Lions, all of the moves that they've made. Let me know in the comments below, A, B, C, D, or F. Now, the next move, I think, to me, is probably the worst move. I'm going to give it the lowest grade so far in free agency, just because I don't think this is the answer at the edge position, and that is Marcus Davenport, 6'6", 264. He was drafted in the first round, 14th overall in 2018, and I'm giving this one a C- grade, and not for just the player or anything like that. It's because I want to see the position get more, and I fully suspect that they're going to probably sign another edge rusher here in free agency, as well as pick one in the NFL draft. Just because he has injury histories and was playing for last team was the Minnesota Vikings. He didn't really do much at all, and the Vikings fans were happy to let him go. And, 1 year, $6.5 million deal with a max of 10.5. I like the fact that he has to earn some of his contract. That's really important because you want to make that money, you got to earn it. And Davenport's looking for a rebound. He played better in New Orleans, didn't play so well in Minnesota. You look what he did last year. He was injured by the ways. A lot of injured. He only played in a handful of games here. 3 sole tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits in 4 games. You look at 2 sacks in 4 games, that's pretty good. But the injuries, it's just not something that is appealing to me. But he's a rotational edge rusher, and I'm fine with that. He'll replace a Charles Harris, who didn't we get anything out of. The Lions still need help at that edge position. To me, he's not the biggest guy the Lions got. Let's continue on here. The Detroit Lions re-signed Graham Glasgow. I like this move here, and it's a bigger move than you would expect. The 3-year deal here of the 6'5", 307-pounder. 31 years old. It's a 3-year deal, but make no mistake about it. It's really a 2-year deal. They can cut him after the second year. And what we like about Graham Glasgow, he could play guard. He played exceptionally. He actually took Big V's spot. And he can play the center position, and Frank Ragnow has been injured quite a bit. So we love Graham Glasgow here. I'm going to give this a B grade just because the universal move that he brings. And we needed to get at least one guard here in free agency because we're missing Jonah Jackson. So we can pick up a younger guy in the draft. Then you're mixing veteran with rookie, and I do like that type of move there. So I give it a B grade from my perspective. The Lions re-signed also Emmanuel Moseley before really the free agency period started here, and we didn't see anything out of the guy this past season. Nothing. So there's no point in bringing up any sort of stat for this move here. 5'11", 190 pounds. We got nothing out of him, but he is a good corner when he is on the field. He is a good corner when he's on the field. Just needs to be on the field. If we can get anything out of Emmanuel Moseley, that's a gigantic plus. And if you look at right now, all the corners on this team, Emmanuel Moseley, Cam Sutton, turn around, you get Amik Robertson and Carlton Davis, who you trade for. The Lions got a lot of veterans right now in the secondary. One of these guys should pan out for the Detroit Lions. We really don't know what what ones will do it, but we hope that they can do it. And that's to me, this is a B grade because I don't see any risk of this at all due to the contract, and it's a 1-year deal. So I see no risk for this bad boy. And to me, that's a good thing. So again, I'm going to ask you a question really quick. Grade the Lions' free agency so far, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments below. For an overall grade for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this I say a B. I'm going to give it a B grade. I thought about doing a B+, but I'm going to give it a B grade. The DJ Reader signing was great. The Marcus Davenport was underwhelming to me, so it kind of makes it out to maybe a B/B+ in there. So I guess B+. That's what I got the overall grade in for this free agency period. They brought in Jalen Reeves-Maybin on a 2-year deal. I like that move, bringing him back. He's good at special teams, and he's a fast linebacker, and so the linebacking room is really solid. Good move for there. What do I want to see from the Detroit Lions going forward? What I would really like the Lions to do for this football team is continue to get the edge rusher position. So in free agency, I'd like to see the Lions sign a edge rusher to help out the depth there. I would like to see it. There's plenty of options out there in free agency. They can also make a trade as well to get a Hassan Reddick if they feel that's an option. And obviously in the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions are going to upgrade that position. So it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. Free agency is continuing, and the Detroit Lions are going to continue to upgrade this roster in the NFL draft. Plenty of moves. And what this free agency period gave the Lions is flexibility, and that's something that they can work for going forward. So overall, again, go ahead and grade the Lions free agency A, B, C, D, or F. That's the big, question for this video. It's what I want you guys to do. Again, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the Lions breaking news and signing players. If they get a guy, we're going to drop that bad boy in the YouTube channel here. I'm going to be on The Huge Show, radio 96.1 FM, locally West Michigan, 3 to 6 p.m. If you don't have that, you're not in that area, go to thehugeshow.com and you can get it right there. With that said, folks, adios.